Alright, welcome back to the final league race of the season in TTML for round number 10 at Singapore for F3. So, uh, yeah, last round, thankfully. So, yeah, it's at Singapore, which is, yeah. Ah, I like this track, but in the past few games, it's not been one of my better ones. I don't know what has been, but anyways, rain here to come at the 60-ish minute mark, or between 45 and 60. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting wrinkle. But there's only about 11 or so drivers, so uh, we're going to qualify on mediums again. Same story as, or try to this time, unless it's stupid this time. Going to qualify on mediums at least and give that a shot. This is the setup. It's changed a little bit since I was last here, but. Anywho, this is the end of, well, towards the end of qualifying. I decided to wait for a fair amount of time to do a medium run. I invalidated my first lap, and I've fueled up for 2, and setting the time here for 1:36.5, which is fine on mediums. I ran out of ERS towards the end of the lap there, which maybe cost me a little bit of time, but anywho. I was good enough for 7th place on mediums, Sway down 3rd on his medium, so... And my FTRL teammate qualified in pole. So, yeah. We're kind of in the hunt here with the medium runners. If there's no safety car that comes out, this will play to our favour. But potentially, the strategy could be thrown up in the air if a safety car comes out at the wrong time. So, anyways, I was debating where to do a 1 or a 2 stop. But I know Sway wanted to do a 2 stop. And to be fair, because the hards are like... They're 2 seconds slower-ish. I think they're over 2 seconds slower than the hards. Or sorry, than the softs. And I think they're about 1.4 seconds a lap slower than the mediums. So you do have to think about whether you generally want to do a 2-stop here, because the time you'd make up at the end, especially if you do the medium, soft, the time you make up on softs at the end would be insane. So, anywho, so I don't know. I was weighing up what I do and see how we get on. But we're going to go long on mediums anyway and see how we get on from there. So. Anywho, then, here we go then. Last race of the season at Singapore. A special helmet for the final race of the season. 5 red lights. And away we go. Actually, loving that helmet, to be fair, on this car. Nice special helmet, but decent start. Just take it nice and easy into turn 1. I don't think a ton's going to change here. It's an accident in the back. Because Dylan, I think, disconnected. Maybe I'm not sure what happened to him, but... I don't know if he got back in or he just his pedals or something weren't working, but anyways, he's out of the race, so that's a shame for him. But we're just going to settle in here. We do technically have a chance to get 4th in the standings here if things go right for us. We do have to outscore Legenda by like 9 points, so that is, that's a bit of a hurdle to clear. So, but really, again, just want to get to the end of the race here. Just filing in nice and slowly. Everyone's just trying to get through in one piece, although Jane was pretty aggressive that first lap. Lap 2. Legende has a big moment there. I thought he hit the barrier, but apparently he did not. But we slipped through. But the problem is we're heading on to lap 3, and the DRS is enabled, and I'm not within DRS range of anyone anymore because he's spun, so or half spin. So, and I'm not close enough. These softs, they do go off in a hurry. These softs, like it's a crime how poor that tire is here. But anywho's, I have no DRS sadly, so. It's going to be an easy enough move for Legende to take this one back, and there's no even point defending it because he's well over a car length clear once he gets to the braking zone, so there's no real fighting that, so we'll just settle in. And you see Langfeld there on the hards. It's going to be important for later. He's the only one that started on the hards. Lap 4, this is when some of the other kind of runners, like the soft runners, come in, like Jane and Imadi and that kind of thing. So actually Imadi's already boxed, so... So then there's Yarm in the next lap. So we're now running 3rd. We're about 2 seconds behind Legende, and Sway is a lot further clear of the road. So he's looking good for this race win, at least at this moment. Lap 9, we're kind of resisting Paddy, and I've got F1 2017 flashbacks, and I couldn't pass Paddy at Singapore on softer tyres. Now he's got to sit. Now all these years later, he gets to sit in my dirty air. Anyways, when Legende is out, he crashed at the bridge and safety car is deployed. Not great timing on this because I was hoping to go a bit longer on these mediums. They were fine. I decided to box I thought I maybe should have done hards, but I'm going to box for another set of mediums because by the time we get going on the safety car again, we'll be close enough to the time you put on the first set of mediums. And, I haven't got a quali set on this time, so, maybe we can go along, see what happens when the safety car comes out. We'll see what happens, but anyways, I lose a little bit of time with the, obviously Sway was in as well, and for some reason the release was not good, so yeah, lost position to Poddy, and I wasn't very happy about that because nothing that could be done for it, similar to, like TTML with Dylan and Canada, but I'm just so sick of being caught up at the wrong time with the pit lane and losing crucial positions, so anyways, we'll have to make do with it. But as Cocker reminded just here now, we did gain on Jane and Yarm in the process, so look, every silver cloud, I guess. Anyway, I think it's Langfell restarting here on his hard. So okay. So key difference here. I think it's Ima D and Yarms on their old tires, or at least Sway as well. So because Ima D pit quite early. Or sorry, Sway just pitted. So it's Langfell and Ima D on older tires. So there's a bit of tiptoeing around this first lap on their safety car restart because we want to try and get through these cars that have got older tires. You can see we're backing up here. Everyone's giving each other space. Everyone is doing this the right way. And I get on the early brakes on the early. I get on the brakes early here, and Jane just sends it. I reckon if I was turning in, he still would have sent it. Yarm sneaks through as well because he's coming through. I was really unhappy about this at the time because I think I hit there by CVG, who must have ripped off his tires to hit into the back of me. I was really unhappy with that with Jane because again it was so clear what we were trying to do. Everyone was just trying to go through just to survive, and Langfell's on 12 lap hards. He's over a second a lap slower than us on new tires, like easily. So I was really unhappy about that. And then Johnny probably got what was coming to him as he tried to move then on Langfell. So yeah, I wasn't very happy with how Johnny drove that in particular because, if I didn't see him coming, if I just turn in, then, there's just an accident waiting to happen. And I get screwed as well. So just impatience like that really annoys me. Like, it's clear what we're trying to do in the first lap of a safety car restart. It really annoyed me. And then Yarm hit the wall beforehand. He hit the wall again then. So the two places that I lost after that ridiculous send, in my mind, ridiculous send. Like, technically, yes, the space was there, but, we're all trying to get through cleanly. Do you know what I mean? And I could have easily gone very, very wrong if I didn't have a brain. So, anyways, we get two positions there with those two taking themselves out of the equation, and then now we can safely overtake Langfell with DRS, and we can go through, and we can continue on our merry way. So, Poddy is 2.4 seconds up the road. We've lost a little bit of time, but grand scheme of things, we're still in the hunt here. So, Imadi now has retired from the session. We're catching Poddy, who did have wing damage, I'm pretty sure. And safety car comes out. Now, this is a dreadful time for it to come out. Absolutely dreadful time for it to come out. I decided not to box. Because the safety car is already picking us up. It was a very quick turnaround. Langfell was the one of the big winner here because he stayed out in the first one, and this is perfect for him in the second safety car because he just put on mediums to the end of the race. The problem is then what we should have done was put on, because we both have to pit anyways. We probably should have pit for softs because we're going to have to pit anyways. So Sway was arguing the case against, but I think regardless we were screwed because of what happened at the first safety car. If we pitted for hard to that first safety car, we would have been in a much better shape. Anyways, now there's rain on the way, 15 minutes. Sway then, he wanted to try and go before Yarm caught the back, but because he didn't allow enough clearance to the safety car, the game stopped him from progressing any further because you can't pass the safety car. So, anyways, I wanted to be his rear gunner to try and let him establish a lead before he had to come into the pits. And before everyone else on their fresher tires came through, but and I said this to him at the time. I said it to him afterwards. I've often complained about people not knowing how to do safety car restarts, and I'm sorry, this falls exactly to the same category. I was really not happy with how that safety car restart was handled. Two cars coming through immediately. Yogi's through, Langfell's through. like Paddy's gonna he's coming through. Like Paddy and Yarm pitched for ages on the safety car to extend it. Basically, is what I gathered from it, and they have much fresher tires. So a little bit of contact here from Yaram. Kind of offset me a bit. I actually managed to keep him behind for a number of laps here on his softs, but not too happy with how like his contact unsettled my car and compromised my run, and as a result he gets through. So I wasn't very happy about that because I was keeping him behind me, but anyways, you were kind of screwed with how all this worked out. Yogi is out, or not out, but Yogi is into the wall. I believe he came together at Yarm. He wasn't too pleased afterwards. The two common kind of factors that people were not too pleased about were Jane's driving and Yarm's driving. Anyways, no other safety car came, so into the pits we come. We were kind of, our hands were kind of tied a bit. We had such a little time to decide what to do with that second safety car. By the time by the time I had any time to think about it, it was too late. What we should have done, one of two things: either pit for hards on that first safety car, which would have invited further chaos to everyone on their mediums. Everyone pitted for mediums basically around that time. Langfeld stuck to his gut and stayed out on his hards. That was the winning strategy. Was the one that Langfeld did: start on hards and then run to your stint, and then when that stint happened to end, he happened to happened to be time for mediums to go to the end. And the other part of it was to pit under that second safety car and just commit to that two stop, or in Yarm's case, commit to staying out on the softs. Now the rain has just arrived; it literally just arrived out of that last corner. I was hoping that the guys on the older rubber would be caught out and they would be in dire straits and they might crash or significantly struggle, because I'd made about 9 seconds up on Paddy at this stage or so, but I need a lot more to make up. I had nothing to lose anyway, so I was basically nailed into P5 once the race unfolded as it did. Even coming out of Sector 1, the cars were beginning to get a little bit upset, but now at this stage the rain's coming very, very quickly. I asked the question if it was worth boxing, but soon our hands are going to be forced. Well, my hands were forced because I eventually decided, as DRS is going to be disabled here, like the track is now intermediates. It's a very, very long lap. I debated whether I would stay out because there was just one lap left. But then Sway just thought, I've got nothing to lose. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to lose anything, and I'm not going to, I've more to gain than I have to lose. If I lose anything, I lose one position to Yogi here. But that close call there gave me hope. I thought, right, well, first of all, it scared the shit out of me because flipping, right, let me box, because I think I'm going to crash otherwise if I stay out here. But maybe others might crash if they stay out. So I decided to box, but you can see how quickly conditions have deteriorated. Like half a lap essentially is what it took. But so, look, roll the dice. A lot of people have retired. We've come what we did what we came to do essentially between me and Sway. We had to outscore Alfa Romeo, who didn't show up, and Haas. We had to make sure Haas didn't outscore us by 20 something points, which was on the cards early on. But anyways, both of them are out now. So all we have to do is just get to the finish. I'm not happy with how this race is unfolded because, the strategy just didn't help. The way the safety cars, the strategy didn't work out. And when I wanted to try and be rear gunner for Sway, that was bottled as well. So on his behalf. So, anyways, intermediates. A few of us did pit, like Yara, the two Aston Martins pitted for intermediates. They played it safe. I was hoping one would take the gamble. And Sway and Langfeld are far too far off the road for this for us to gain anything here. So, anyways, Langfeld, gotta say, it played right into his hands. Gotta say, I feel like the two races he's won, between the one he won in F4 last season as well, played right into his hands as well, and so did this one. The strategies worked out an absolute dream for him. Safety cars worked out a dream. He played his cards right with that timing as well, but. Anyways, we did what we came to do. It's P5. It's a disappointing result, given all things considered. I think a podium could have been on the cards, but anyways, we did what we came to do, which was we are Constructors champions. So, that was what we... Look, bigger picture stuff. I'm disappointed with how that race unfolded, but bigger picture stuff, we managed to take the constructors. But in the drivers, we actually managed to take fourth in the end. Between people no showing the second part of the season, like Merck and Kevin and such and Wesker. Bit of a weird season. Fourth place is as good as it was going to get, to be fair. I feel aggrieved I could have had maybe third at Janet, but if I hadn't bottled France and if I had a little bit better luck the first, I'd say 5 or so races of the season, could have easily been in a better spot. But look, fourth place. With the season it was, no podiums here, which is a bit of a disappointment coming from F4. And even had an FTRL Division 1 podium, so yeah. Weird season, but I'm glad it's finished in many ways. And we get to the constructors, which we did win handily enough in the end. That's just going to come up. Sway, ended up carrying this season. It was just how the season went. I think this is the first time I finished behind Sway, I think, for a while. I think maybe there's one season FTRL where I think it happened. But other than that, I finished ahead of him for most of the time we've been racing together. So he has upped his game, and I had an unlucky season, but he definitely deserved to finish ahead. He was in the hunt for wins and podiums. He's definitely upped his game, and his consistency and his lack of penalties have really helped, and he's continued to do that. But yeah, he thoroughly deserved it to finish runner-up then in the end to F3. But yeah, that's going to do it for round number 10 of FTRL this season, and it's going to do it for my time in FTRL for the time being. I'm stepping back this next season, so I won't be competing in season 7 sorry, TTML, not FTRL. I'm stepping back. It's time for me to step back once again. I'm just a little bit overwhelmed with stuff, and I would have generally, like, if I was less committed, I would have left before the new year. But when I start something, I see it out, and this is the case in FTRL as well, where I'm undecided what I'm doing, but I'm likely stepping back from that as well. So yeah, it's time to take a step back once again, and this is the first step to doing that. So I'll miss somewhat the racing in TTML. It was a little dicey at times, but anyways, yeah, it's been fun. But yeah, for now, I'm taking a step back. But we'll still have FTRL to do for now. There's like 3 or 4 more races left at FTRL. So there's still that to come. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and until next time.